so short.
Are we live?
Mm-hmm. Don't be live.
Go ahead, Asher.
Shalom, Israel. Most High Christ bless. Happy Sabbath. I'm Sister Asher from IUIC Chicago.
I'm Sister Misael from Chicago.
Sister Pua from Chicago. IUIC Chicago.
And we are doing the Why I Joined IUIC Challenge. So, we're going to start with the questions. Here we go.
So, Asher, why did you join IUIC?
I joined IUIC because when I first found out I was an Israelite, I was like, what I do now? Like, what's required of me? So, I was like, what's required of me? So, when I found IUIC, they really stressed the laws. So I was like, oh, okay, you keep the laws when you find out you're an Israelite. So, yeah, that's why I joined IUIC. Next question.
And how long you been at IUIC?
I've been with IUIC. I've been with IUIC the Day of Atonement of 2015. That's when I decided to stay with IUIC.
Praises. So, so what made you decide to look for the Most High?
Well, I grew up in a Christian church, and when you think you're serving the Lord, I always wonder, like, is this what the Most High want me to do? Like, how do I know I'm serving the Most High the right way? So I would always question that, and I would pray about it, like, okay, what do He want me to do? And then in my church, you think that we thought speaking in tongues, they really press, you got to speak in tongues to know that the Most High dealing with you. And I could never do it, like, for real. So I was like, okay, so I'm not serving the Most High. So, yeah.
Okay.
Next question.
Okay, so what scripture sealed the deal for you?
Scriptures that sealed the deal for me were the scriptures about, our foreparents, Israel being the color scriptures. Job 30:30, Jeremiah 14. Us being black, I was like, okay, our people black. Like, we the Israelites, y'all. Like, we black. You said, Solomon was black, y'all. I was like, cool. Okay, we the Israelites. And that's what sealed the deal for me. The color scriptures and, of course, the curses. The curses, Deuteronomy 28. That's what sealed it for me, guys.
And what makes you stay with IUIC?
This is my nation. Like, I ain't going nowhere. Where would I go?
Right.
Like, what else is there other than this truth? Like, what you got?
Nothing.
So, yeah, if this is my nation. This is what the Most High want me to do. And I finally found out how He wants me to love Him and serve Him. And that's why I keep going, because this is how He told me to serve Him.
All praises.
Thank God.
And your favorite scripture?
Well, I like to categorize my favorite scriptures. So if I want to talk about, correcting myself and examining myself, I'll read Ephesians 4. That entire chapter is just great on correcting yourself. If I want to, meditate on marriage scriptures, I think I go to Sirach 25:1. And if I want to, just like build on my faith, I go to Romans 12:12. So I categorize my favorite scriptures.
Okay. That's deep.
Right. All praises.
All praises.
Is that it?
That's it. All praises. So now we're going to the lovely Sister Misael.
Okay. Shalom. Who are you asking me? Because I gotta.
Oh, okay. So why did you join IUIC?
Why did I join IUIC? Not mainly, but one of the top reasons are the order and the unity, the fact that they stress keeping the commandments and reading from the Bible, like reaching their people, going out like on the corners. I love that, how it's just easy to understand. They don't make it, hard. So I love that.
Oh, praises. So how long have you been with IUIC?
I've been with IUIC since June 2016. I've been consistently none other than IUIC.
That's right. What made you decide to look for the Most High?
Hosea 5:15.
Yep.
In your affliction, you shall seek him early. Affliction. Yes. Man, like major affliction with my trials. That's when I started to, without knowing Deuteronomy 28, I knew like something went right. I had to be cursed, and that made me start to seek out the truth and research. So which after seeing multiple other camps, which led me to IUIC. So all praises I'm here.
All praises.
That was so pretty.
What scripture sealed the deal?
Of course, Deuteronomy chapter 28. Well, okay, so basically, when I watched IUIC Atlanta, Officer Uziel, am I saying his name right?
Uziel. Officer
Uziel out of Atlanta. He was teaching a video. It's called "We Are Not Africans," and the picture is like a African in the back of a elephant, and I don't want to say what he's doing.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but that's the video, like, but that he brought out Deuteronomy chapter 28. And it was a brother on the street that it was multiple people, but it was like this one brother his reactions were my reactions, like, dang. And he was like, he was like, why my grandma ain't teach me that? And that's what I was thinking, like, nobody never told me. So like Deuteronomy 28, but what scripture like hit home? Well, that hit home, but what scripture when I knew they lay at the head of the streets?
Isaiah 52. That thing. Is it 52?
Because I grew up on the south side and west side of Chicago, and that's all brothers do is on the corners, and they are hidden in prison houses.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the one.
Isaiah 42, I think.
Okay.
Okay, praises. So, what makes you stay with IUIC?
Growth, consistency. Okay, so what I like the most that makes me stay with IUIC, prior to like coming into the congregation, accountability, being able to go to the prophets, of course, and shout out to Officer Gabriel, Officer Bez, Officer Abishai, Officer Semachiah, Captain Romeo. Being able to go to them when I'm going through something and they edify me with the scriptures and hold me accountable when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And like that tough love, it keeps me grounded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Okay, sorry. Favorite scripture?
Ecclesiastes chapter 12:13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandments.
Okay, that's that deep basic, girl. That's a deep basic. Like that's that milk, girl. You weaning. That's that wean.
No, the reason why, back to what I was saying, like when the prophets, the Most High, that's their mouthpiece. The prophets, when they correcting you, that stuff is scary. I'm scared of God. Like seeing people fall out the truth and what happens to them. Also, people who not in the truth and the struggles they go through, we all getting afflicted, but I don't want to be there again. I don't want to fall back again. I'm scared. I'm just going to keep these commandments and live. Wow. So that's it for that one.
Oh, go ahead with that conviction. I like it.
Is that it?
That's all that question? Yeah, that's it.
Oh, shoot.
That was good, sis.
Okay, pull up.
Okay. Should I come with her?
Can y'all see her? She's so beautiful.
Oh, Lord.
Check out the orange.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Sister Poor, why did you join IUIC?
Oh, Lord. So I joined IUIC because when I was like searching for the truth and I found out we was Israelites and we got to relearn our heritage and come back, and just relearn everything. I felt like out of all the camps that I had saw, like IUIC was the most accessible. Like they got their numbers posted on their website, posted on every video. Like you don't have to. It's a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer for me. Like I called, like when I was ready to keep the commandments, I called them, and no lie, like I think it was Officer Bezalel. He was on the phone with me for 3 hours, showing me scripture after scripture, proving to me that we are Israelites. Like I knew we were, but he proved it to me in the scripture, showed me how to keep the Sabbath, like, I think it's 1 Kings 8, showed me how everything, like what you learn when you first come to the truth, they taught it to me. And then they gave me counsel on like the smallest to the biggest matter in my life. And when you get ready to keep the commandments, everything you learn in the world is clashing with everything you're being taught. And I felt so comfortable, joining IUIC. Like I just kept praying if this is the right thing for me to do. And the Most High led me to IUIC, so that's why I joined IUIC.
Okay, how long you been with IUIC?
September 2016.
Okay. Why did you decide? What made you decide to look for the Most High? So a little bit of background about me. Like I grew up in Las Vegas. I grew up very sheltered, and even though our people are out there, they don't struggle on the same level as our people do in Chicago. So when I moved to Chicago and started like seeing like the curse is really heavy on our people, seeing how much hatred we have for each other, the ones that do kind of have some type of money in Israel, like people who are not woke yet, they don't care about the ones that are struggling. When I was in the church, I saw how wicked the church was. All those things made me curious, made me have questions, and ultimately I started seeking and trying to figure out what's going on with our people. I used to watch Tommy Sotomayor, and his videos, unfortunately, they are negative about our people, but that's how I found out the state of our people. And then there was a lot of shootings going on. Our people was getting shot, getting no justice, and Edomites didn't care about us. And I grew up around Edomites, and I always thought Edomites were good. I thought there was good ones and bad ones. And just seeing all this stuff, I realized, no, Edomites are not good. And that's what caused me to start really, seeking the Most High. Okay, bro. Okay. Number 3, what scripture sealed the deal for you?
So the scripture that sealed the deal for me is Luke 21, verse 20 through 22. And it's about the destruction of the temple in 70 AD, the siege of Jerusalem. So when I was in Christianity, I went to ministry school, and you learn about all that stuff. So when I was listening to all the camp videos and I found out the siege of Jerusalem, we fled into Africa, everything clicked for me. Everything just started. All the puzzle pieces I always had about the Bible, everything just started making sense.
Okay. What makes you stay with IUIC?
Okay, so what makes me stay with IUIC is the fact that they don't play about correction. They're gonna correct you, and they're gonna correct you in love, and they're gonna show you the scriptures, and they're gonna give you counsel on how to get better in whatever areas you're struggling with. And so that makes me stay with IUIC, because my ultimate goal in life is to get the kingdom. So I don't want to be around anybody or anything that's going to keep me from getting the kingdom. I know IUIC is going to make sure that we keep the commandments, and they're going to correct us when we're wrong. And that's how you get the kingdom, is by purging yourself, so that we can be transformed, be like Christ. So
okay, that's deep. That's deep. What's your favorite scripture?
Okay, so my favorite scripture is Proverbs 14:1. It's my favorite scripture because it's the scripture that I attained to be. It's every wise woman builds her house, but the foolish woman plucketh it down. And me being as old as I am, being in this world, Like, you never were taught how to be a woman. And IUIC, and in the scriptures, you taught how to be a woman. And so that's my goal, is to, you know, like, transform into the woman that the scriptures basically talks about. Yeah.
Oh, praise
That
God.
was good.
That was good. Those was some deep answers.
Did we do them all?
You need that? Not just kidding. Yeah, all
All
praise
right.
to the Most
Shalom, you guys.
Happy
Happy
High.
Sabbath.
Sabbath.
We love y'all.
Love y'all.
Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. Can you end it for us?
Wham, wham.
I don't know how.